Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the New York Giants. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 2005 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
50, plant.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down. The headshots here are the offensive unit. And what about Brandon Cooks?
If he's not a 1,000-yard receiver every year he's healthy in the league, I'll be surprised. Came out of college wanting to be a pro, studied all the best receivers in the NFL before he even got to the league.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Smith. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brandon Graham, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, Smith. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Michael Bannon, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. With it is Brown. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
And Andrew Luck's skill set is absolutely fantastic. There's not anything that he can't do as a quarterback on the field. But I also think that he absorbed a little bit by osmosis some of that great bloodline. His father, formerly a quarterback in the NFL as well.
They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Packers. James White, his 17th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Throwing again. Smith. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. This is caught. It's close. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Come on, set. 60 yards. You must be getting tired of seeing me. Hit it.
On 1st and 10, Smith. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it with Bell, and he is going to lose yardage here. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
We go. 8 read.
Check tight, check tight, check tight.
3rd and long, it's Smith. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Packer drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it. 2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
What we got?
First down, here's White. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the safety creep.
Going on the ground, it's White, and very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
Out wide, they have A.J. Green, who can run every route you want on the route tree and take the top off of defense with his speed and has the length to go over the top of people to catch the ball. But maybe the most impressive thing about him, the only wide receiver ever to be a Pro Bowler in his first 7 years in the NFL.
From just shy of midfield, Luck. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 34-yard line. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Luck. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 1st down, it's White. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Mike, back up.
It's McKissick. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Smith now to throw, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the new Giant, Antoine Bethea. And into the end zone, it's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Alex Smith and the offense heading out for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Nigel Bradham brings him down. 3 yards on that last run, so here is 2nd and 7 from the 28. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. Oh, and now he bowls him over. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
I think Le'Veon Bell is now recognized mainly for his hesitation move, but he makes so many people miss. I think that's what makes him an elite runner in this league.
He's been doing that since high school when he was a Groveport Cruiser in Ohio. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. There he goes, left side. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick-6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job.
Now a hit and Locke lost the football. It's out, and the Giants have it. It's picked up past the 20. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery on a Giants touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Following the fumble recovery, here's Love. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 51 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They'll run on first down. It's White, a nice little juke. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Right here. Second and 5 at the Giants' 12-yard line.
Second and 5 now. Luck under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. They had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
They'll fake it. Now Locke. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st down, Smith. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Right now in the 2nd quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And the Giants send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. 1:53 remaining in this first half of play. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that, but if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they'd take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To the air again, Locke. Green brings it in. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Again, Locke. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Eric Reed, the former LSU Tiger, making the play on the defensive side. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Luck throwing again. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball that coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you got a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Smith. It's hauled in here by Edmond. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
And the Giants send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now Brown. "21 yards. Well done on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. Second quarter here. He has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Well, so far, just the single catch. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. On 2nd down, it's White. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. Jordan Reed has it. A big play there just before halftime, and even 40 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. A shotgun snap for Luck. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Luck. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Hopkins' kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's
abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They keep it on the ground. White again. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, it's Thompson. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 48 yards on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Here's McKissick. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll go again with McKissick. And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. J.D. McKissick, his 4th touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time to spotlight the quarterback, Alex Smith. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him? The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Again, it's Bell, and he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. And I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator, he's going to get his play sheet.
Now a hit and a loose football. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
Multiple turnovers on the play. Eventually recovered by the defense.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
Luck now, 8 of 17 so far, under 50%. They go with White on the counter. A beautiful spin and room to run. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And that's complete. It's Green here. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now White, and he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. They'll try to run this one in. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. J.D. McKissick, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns, but the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, and defensively, you got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL.
Smith on third down. He's able to find Inman. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Smith. Pitch and catch complete to Hireman. The ball comes out, and the Packers pick it up. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now Smith, blitz coming, and down he goes. Trey Boston shot through on the safety blitz for the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one going the wrong direction. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll run with McKissick. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A carry now for McKissick. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards, first down, Packers. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. A give to the brother of J.J. This is Derek Watt. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. Trying to power it ahead with Watt. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use it more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble-prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught. Take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Opting to run again here with White, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
Here we go. Here we go.
After the interception, here's Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Smith now throwing again. And that's complete to Cooks.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And now here's Inman bringing in the pass. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Smith. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competes, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start the drive with a give to White. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they'll set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
They stay on the ground with White. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
A gain of 5 brings up second and 5.
On second down now, it's White, and he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They'll run on first down. White, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Back to throw, Love. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Covers that time by Aaron Colvin.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, it makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. The fullback Watt with a run. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now a carry for the fullback. This is Watt.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Green Bay, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they suffer their fourth.
EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.